Hey guys, welcome back to the fourth iteration of the Byte Community podcast. Before we get started, I know it's been a while since we did one of these, and I apologize. We originally had the fourth one planned to have Dom on it. However, when that fell through, the motivation kind of died off, and just kind of got difficult for everybody to come together. And then our community was expanding, so a lot of things hit us once. So I apologize for that, but moving forward, we hope to have a couple more here in the future, and hope to see some more people getting into the community and making some new friends here. So, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and start with the first topic that we received on the forum post, which is going to be the bulletins. So, of course, we know if you're on the forums, you know that we started the Byte Bulletin as a forum team, mostly hosted by Cami, so we can get the most accurate information. So we know that they come out every 2 to 3 weeks. We've had, I think, 2 of them so far, coming up on the third one within the next couple of days. And we were told they were going to start being videos. What do you guys think about the actual video form of that coming into the mix?
I don't know. I mean, it depends how they do it, right?
It would be quite interesting. See how it's done.
Do you think people are going to show their face?
They might.
I don't think so. I think it'll be
I don't know
edited.
how they
Not all of them.
It'll be like an
might
animation.
have like one person that does most of like the that kind of stuff, but they did say it'd be a while until that comes into play.
Yeah. Do you think the bulletins so far have been answering questions right? Like, do you think they're hitting the spots on what they need to be doing? Do you think the information provided isn't enough? It's like just the
Do you want honesty?
bare minimum. Yeah, go ahead.
Honestly.
I think the first one was good, and I think the second one didn't answer enough actual questions people had.
There's very vague answers. They're just basically bringing up
Well, I
topics.
Especially the second one, that was pretty vague.
I don't know. I mean, maybe they can't give us as much as we were expecting from them.
That's
But-
what I'm saying. Like a lot of the questions that are being asked are
Yeah.
around things that they can't discuss yet. So
I suppose.
Well, I don't think they should post something unless they don't expect anything.
Like,
yeah,
Expect-
you know,
anything,
if you
yeah.
look at the top posts for the first one and what people were most asking for the first and second ones, there was only maybe half of it actually answered for the first one, and the second one was way less. I didn't see very much new information in the second one.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I think a lot of the information is repeated.
Yeah.
People kind of want to
It's-
know what they want to know, and
Yeah.
if they don't get the answer they want per se, they'll just ask it in a different way, and then it
Yeah.
leads to.
I mean, I've
that
asked
cycle.
the same questions a couple times now, and I mean, we're getting more information, don't get me wrong, but people are asking the same questions, and I've seen the same questions ignored quite a few times.
Well,
Yeah.
hopefully the third one is different.
Hopefully. Third time's
It's
a
just more of people's questions.
I think so too. Especially
Yeah.
now since
I mean,
more
yeah.
information around beta has been confirmed,
yes.
which we
Yeah,
will discuss
I'm
later.
just saying,
I'm sure.
I feel like we get more information from Dom's tweets.
we do, for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was Dom's tweets that told us that beta is coming in March.
Pretty much
Of the
everything.
And
bulletin.
we
those
get
kind of
from
fuel
them.
our questions too. So it's
Yeah, that's
nice.
true.
I don't know.
So-
I've
mean-
talked to them about it a couple of times, like, and personally, I think that I love the idea. Don't get me wrong. The idea was perfect. I love the way that they're reaching out, taking questions, kind of like we do. So just taking our idea, but I do think that beating around the bush and answering questions in a informal and incomplete state may not be the smartest move, because if anything, you're going to lead people into more speculation.
More questions.
Yeah, exactly.
sure.
Which only is
Yeah.
going to get worse after time.
That definitely happens. You know, they answer one question, but then it opens up 10 more questions.
because it's so vague.
That's probably why they don't want to get into the details.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like they should at least address the questions that are being asked that they can't answer yet, and say, like, listen, we get it, you want to know, answers are coming.
Yeah.
Like, at least acknowledge it.
It was kind of like, I don't know, when they started asking for questions, well, I kind of thought, like, okay, so they'll probably answer everything, even if it doesn't have a complete answer. They'll at least
Try.
say, like, you know, well, you want to know about this. Well, we don't have a complete answer on that, but we'll let know. I don't know. That's another thing, is that they could just let us know sometimes. They could just make a post about something instead of waiting 3 weeks to pile up information, you know?
Yeah, I agree. Of course, I reach out as much as I can and be like, hey, could you guys tell me something? I know you have the bulletins and you have the schedule, but keeping the fire fueled is important, because if you just throw on like a ton of logs, it'll burn out, and then do it again and again. It's not going to be a continuous stream like you guys might want. However, it does also bring in the urgency and the anticipation factor, which could be beneficial to them. But beyond that, I think they're a good idea. Executed
I think the
pretty
idea
well.
is great, yeah.
Executed maybe not perfectly for what we were expecting per se. What they were expecting, I have no idea, but yeah. So
Maybe we just expected too much.
Yeah, that's another thing. It's kind of
in
hard.
a way, we're lucky to have anything, really. You know, they could have.
Everything could have been built in the dark.
Exactly. Yeah.
For all we know. But moving on from bullets and stuff, so we're gonna go ahead and just talk about the forums and the expansion. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull up my analytics page real quick. So from this quarter, from December, we had our peak page views was 19,000 on the March the 8th. So that was, what happened on the 8th? Did we have a new announcement?
Dom may have tweeted something.
I think so. Yeah, I've actually looked at that a couple times with the correlation between him tweeting something coming out, especially with the bulletins too. Bulletins make a huge spike every single time. So moving on to the future of the forum, we've talked about things getting verified from the forum to the app, which could be a slippery slope, but do you think that there will be some sort of connection between them? And if so, how would it be managed? Because it could be, again, a slippery slope of making too many connections and then not getting actual value out of the app or the forums.
I mean, there's so many.
Will they be connected?
Yeah, like from users, user ties, like maybe a link to your forum page or saying you're on them.
Sure, probably.
I'm sure it'll be an option. Like Dom said, that you'll have options to link your social media, and it'll pop up as little bubbles. I'm sure there'll be one for the forum.
Yeah, definitely.
That would make sense. Yeah. It's difficult to say what they'll do with the forum after release.
That was my next question. Is what do you think is going to happen?
I mean, we've only known the forum
for the forum.
Yeah.
I feel like it'll be a bunch of like self promotions, and like basically recruiting people for different projects they're working on. Yeah.
Like, what about creators coming out of the forum and speaking with fans?
I mean, if you look at subreddits, what are they for? Like for apps, they're for like showing off glitches, sometimes funny stuff, and just like moments of that you've experienced over the app.
Yeah. And then, I mean, I've played another game called Battle Bay, and they have a really active forum. People going from showing guides and tips and tricks to, like, they even recruit their game moderators off of it. So a lot of the stuff that they do is community based. They're like YouTubers and stuff, but I don't know. I just feel like the forums could either take a huge skyrocket and go into something even greater, or completely die.
Yeah, because it's on a website that's not really used by many people. Like if you made a Reddit account for this and a Reddit server, it would get so much attraction and stuff because you have a potential of getting on r/all, then people seeing that, and then it just skyrockets from there. But with this is kind of private, though.
King of Reddit
is too private.
I think that's one of the reasons why he did it this way, is he didn't want all the clout from Reddit to come spewing over into the tight-knit community.
Well, but Reddit's also free.
I mean, yeah, that's true. How much does he pay for
that this does?
I don't know. I think we're kind of in a weird place with the forum, to be honest.
$300 a month.
A month.
I think for the service, not including servers. But I may be wrong. I thought he said something about. I remember he said something about changing it to a different service because he didn't want to eat the payments anymore. And then he was like, "Well, I can just eat them up." Anyway,
I'd be okay with it being largely on Reddit.
Yeah, Reddit's gaining a lot of users, a lot more than it used to.
I don't remember who, but somebody has the subreddit r/byte.
Flo.
I know for sure that Flo's a moderator on it. Yeah.
Well, I mean, of course, that's always an option moving forward.
It's usable at least.
I'm sure it'll get used.
Yeah.
Whether it's by the community or by the actual company, I think that r/byte will be used at some set.
How are they going to get it from him?
I don't think that's what I'm saying. I don't think the company will actually take it. I think a community will. Moving on from mod, you guys said a mod a lot. Another question was the moderators on the forum. Going forward, do you think that recruiting from the community was a good idea? Do you think that the people who work or are moderators should be given opportunities later to maybe work for the company in some degree? Do you think they should be able to have some sort of connection to provide the forums with the best information they could be? Stuff like that. What do you guys think?
Well, I think choosing the moderators are it's pretty difficult for the team. Yeah. There's so many good people.
For the team, looking from the outside.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they have a big decisions. One little mess up can cause their whole server to be screwed up.
Yeah. I mean, choosing the moderators is really difficult, and this is why I said when they did it that they should have had a vote kind of thing between all of the people who were experts. Should have been able to vote on who the moderators were, and then maybe they pick from a selection so that it was, I don't know. I mean, they picked good people, don't get me wrong, but
I think it was really kind of them to, kind of put their faith in the community, to give them the opportunity to work kind of alongside the staff. But I don't think they would ever give, an outside member enough power to be able to screw up something like this.
I mean, Caden, you have a lot of power, don't you?
I do.
Yeah,
I have quite a bit.
But can you imagine if you gave it to the wrong person and they're just like sweet talking their essay or whatever, and they have potential of screwing the whole thing up. So I'm pretty sure they went and looked in their history of what they've done, but.
Yeah, they didn't get any hackers.
I don't know if I could trust someone like that.
As far as the giving them further opportunities, I'm sure they've said before that they plan on picking people from the top of the community to be moderators on the app at first. That's something.
It's kind of implied.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's good because we know the community, right?
I mean, they do too. Like I was telling you guys earlier, they are people too. So, I mean, they do experience everything with us. Whether or not we see them contributing as much is a different story, but I promise that they do. Like, I'll watch everything with everybody. Spring launch date. We know it's still a possibility, right? They did say that it's still on track.
Yeah, they're continuously saying that it's not going to change. So
I'm really surprised.
When does spring end?
June 20th?
Yeah, June 20th. So, I mean, it could be perfect timing when school's getting let out. June 1st?
I don't know.
That would be perfect timing. Well, actually, it might not be because you want people to interact with each other. So maybe early spring break or after spring break.
Yeah, maybe.
Like around Easter?
Yeah.
Are we saying that spring starts on the 20th then? Is that right?
I think
okay. I mean,
I mean, what else comes out this week? We have a bulletin.
Bulletin
on the 14th.
Yeah.
We have a week later, almost a week later, we have the start of spring. I'm sure they'll say something on the bulletin. I really hope. If not, I'm going to bug them to get something. Because, I mean, it's been... I'm not going to say it, but it's been overdue.
What, Caden? What were you gonna say?
It's overdue. That's all I'm gonna say.
I
They're
mean,
busy.
yeah, but we know why the delay happened and stuff,
Yeah.
right? They told us that in the last
Yeah.
bulletin.
What did they say?
Oh, I don't remember
It was
exactly. What they
transferring
said.
to
Yeah,
your system.
transferring. Transferring would have deleted everything.
Let's see. App expectations. So we know what it looks like, right? We have an idea at
Sure.
least. We know what it looks like
Yeah.
at some point. We don't know when those pictures were taken. We don't know if they were posted like systematically to be able to say, okay, this is what we had. However, when you get it, it's going to be completely a surprise. So do you think it will stay the same? Do you think it's going to be like that? Do you think it's going to be better?
Michael's even said that like some of the pictures are outdated already, even when they were just posted.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I mean,
It's exciting.
the newer ones that we got in the bulletin and some of the ones that Dom tweeted, I would be more than happy if the app looked like that.
Yeah.
You know, especially that one video we got from Michael a while back with the trending page.
Mhm.
It looks good, you know?
And then do you think it could get better than that? Like, so one of the things, okay, so I had a personal like thought about this for a long time. I was thinking about the way Instagram and Twitter and TikTok profiles look right now. And if you compare them to Byte, they're not similar at all. Like Instagram's got that signature thing, Twitter's got their signature thing, and Byte as of now is more modern a little bit and more, it's almost more playful, if that's the way to explain it. So TikTok's kind of copied Instagram in the fashion of everything on that top corner, but theirs is centered, and then they have GIF profile pictures, which is really cool. But yeah, I was looking at Byte and I was like, okay, this is, don't get me wrong, like a beautiful, clean look, but it's super playful. It's not super like blank, like Instagram is white with black text. Like it's the most basic and simplistic thing. And then you have Byte with all these different sections, all these colors, and I think that's kind of what they were going for. Because I don't know if you guys remember, but Dom said the idea for Byte is going to be what, Vine 2016, right? Like the prime where everybody was messing around and just it was more fun rather than just like these creators going for.
I mean, that's got to be what they're going for, right? It's just fun. I mean, it's clearly what they want. They just want to make an app where people are having fun.
And this is like all Dom too. It's not like, you know, with Vine, it was Twitter and they kind of had a lot of control. So it was like a big corporation, but this is all Dom and his team.
What do you think the chances are of beta actually coming out in March?
Very high.
Very high. Dom told me.
Yeah.
He quoted my tweet.
Insert a screenshot of Tom replying
please.
to Dan. I'd say 40-60.
40-60?
Yeah, I was actually.
I'd say 80.
We've been expecting beta since January.
It's kind of like the boy who cried wolf. It's the boy who cried wolf by now. You can't really
but
trust
this is
it.
the first time they've said a month.
Yeah.
Before we were just kind of anticipating it being
Yeah,
January,
but
now he said March.
I feel like we knew it was supposed to release earlier.
I'm just gonna say, this is the first time they've publicly set a time.
People have really been expecting it for quite a while, but they've never said explicitly this is when it is till now. So, I mean, I'm with them. It will be in March. They said
if it's not in March,
so it will.
If it's not in March, I wouldn't be mad if they did it April 1st.
No.
Can you imagine like an app released on April Fool's? Like your anniversary is that date.
So we have The Purge, right? Anybody who doesn't know, we have a lot of experts on the forums, some of which were promoted by the manual system was made originally for like the smaller community, which would make it more difficult for people to get promoted up to it. But since the community's grown and it's a lot older now, a lot of the qualifications are met far easier. So the forums team has been looking into like just creating real requirements that are actually determined by people rather than a discourse
Automatic system.
automatic system. Yeah, so plan on doing some sort of democratic election type thing for everybody to actually voice their opinion to get the people who have power on the forums up there. How many people do you think are actually on the beta now? That time's passed.
I was thinking like 40, 60.
Yeah, I was thinking about 50. 30
I
to
thought
50.
like 100.
I'd say less.
I'd
I
give it
feel
100.
more.
I'd
I think
say
100
around
is
100.
safe place
Yeah,
to kind of
because
guess.
if I recall correctly, I did see one of the screenshots that someone had over 100 followers.
That was probably a test.
Those are all
I
fake.
did, yeah.
Those
There was a
are all
That's
lot
what I
of
was thinking.
specific
But, you know-
numbers that I don't think were real because there was a number that was like
9,000.
some million
Yeah.
something or
Yeah,
other.
there were
I can't
videos of like a
remember.
couple million
I
losers.
think they're just testing the limits of the app just to see
Maybe,
like
yeah.
the threshold.
I think it's going to be awesome. I trust them.
You know
Yeah,
what? I think Byte's gonna be awesome.
and I think they'll do a good job. They'll make it
We
work.
have a multi-billion-dollar company running TikTok, though. I mean, how do you think we fight that?
by
You think it's a
keeping the
threat?
issues on TikTok
Do I
away
think it's a
from
threat?
Byte.
No,
I
I
think
agree.
that-
though.
The platform is a
I
threat.
think that I think that the way that they tapped in to those younger generations and have been able to use what they
memes.
want is absolutely genius, and the grasp that they have created on it is going to be extremely hard to get.
And they've
And it
really
is, like,
stepped
so
up their
cringy.
advertisement.
The advertisement's been
Yeah.
huge. I mean, it's a multi-billion-dollar company that bought it. I mean, they bought Musically for 7.8 billion or something. I mean, these people
Well, I
have the
mean-
money to do what they need.
Like, as much as I hate the app, I went to see a film the other day and I saw 3 adverts for TikTok before it, and I'm like, everybody is seeing this. This isn't just me.
On the-
This is
on the
everybody
movie
else
screen?
seeing the film. Yes.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
I've never
No,
seen
it's
one
serious. I've
on
never
like
seen
TV
that
yet.
either.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
haven't seen one on TV yet.
Well, listen, okay, it was a small cinema to be fair, but
They're still using
yeah.
Google preferred advertising. The way that Byte plans on, or the people that Byte wants to appeal to, is
Mhm.
the people that were on Vine. So if we
Mhm.
try to get the people that were
Yeah,
already
they're on
on
TikTok.
Vine onto Byte, it's going to be hard because they're already
They've
on
already moved on to
YouTube.
different
Yeah. Well,
platforms.
yeah,
they're happy with
I mean, a
YouTube.
lot of them are, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
90% of
monopoly.
them. Exactly, and it's going to be hard
It's
for
almost a
any
monopoly.
app
Google.
to compete, especially even TikTok. But TikTok has diversified itself in the sense of taking on this younger generation versus people like me and Dylan and maybe even
all
you
of
guys.
us.
But you guys are a little bit older, so it's a little bit different. You guys are the age of the creators, right?
You know, I mean, these are not stupid people that are making an app
Yeah,
from
I agree.
having nothing, you know?
But
These are
you're not
people that
gonna know
really
if
know what
it's
they're
a-
doing.
You're not going to know if it's a solution until you do it.
I suppose so.
As far as you know, it could completely backfire and
Yeah, I mean, I suppose
piss
so.
off our generation or our
I-
age demographic. That's the word.
yeah.
Can we jump back a little bit to the creators that already know about it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sure.
Does anyone know of any? That's what I'm asking.
Chris,
Casey,
Casey
Sam,
Neistat knows for sure.
Logan
Chris
Paul
Melber.
mentioned it.
Logan
on
mentioned Vine too.
True.
Well, I don't
Yeah.
think they're
He
gonna
said
go.
Vine too,
Podcast.
but he's aware of
Uh,
it.
I think Josh Peck is aware of it. I'm sure I,
think he
saw
is,
him
too.
talk about it a
Isn't
few days
Jason
ago.
Nash because he
David
had
is.
Oh, that whole thing.
Absolutely sure. Anyone who was really big on Vine, I'm sure they already know about it.
Oh,
because there
yeah,
are some
David Dobrik
creators.
knows about it.
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
some
he-
creators
None of
that
them
are
has
already
used the
betaing it.
name. That's what's irritating me
Yeah.
the most. Is none of them have said like the second
Yeah,
they
they
say
say
Vine
Vine
2,
2,
start
they say-
waves, but
they
they
say
keep
sequel to
saying
Vine.
2.
Vine 2, V2,
Perhaps.
sequel to Vine.
in the announcement of the first wave of beta, the name will start to catch on instead of Vine
Hmm.
2.
I mean,
They'll
I
start
think they know that people are excited around the name of Vine, but they don't realize that like people can't find the Vine 2 forum, the
true.
Vine 2 Discord.
I
It's
think
Byte.
yeah.
It comes
So,
up still.
mhm.
So for now, it's convenient, I suppose, just for keywords, so it comes up in searches.
Sure.
But eventually, the name will catch on.
It'll have to.
It has to.
It has to. If people are talking about it, they're calling it Vine too, but the app's called Byte, then
We're fucked.
essentially, I mean, you're not going to find it if you're searching for the wrong thing.
I think the goal is to have people advertise it themselves, not even have to pay a dime.
I don't know about that.
Dom. Do you remember Dom's original V2 post? Would it have like
Yes.
200,000 retweets?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
that
it was
crazy.
huge. The amount of impressions he probably got from that was in the tens of millions.
Just imagine another one of them right about now. Just
Would implode.
Like if he just tweet, we're just about to put the app into beta, come along kind of thing, then like I don't know, it would change everything.
But have you also noticed he has skewed away from using keywords like Vine? I understand that it's a legal thing, but it would hugely benefit everything. I remember he was talking to Jack, the Twitter CEO. I don't remember if it was specifically about Vine too, but I know that I don't think Jack himself wants to take any legal action towards us because, he is the one that Dom talked to when they sold Vine. Like they did the deal between two of the CEOs. So I don't know, but of course then we have little whispers of Twitter trying to make something out of Vine, right? You guys heard little things about that? Yeah, they were doing something. I don't remember what it was, but they were doing something with Vine.
I was not aware of this.
Yeah, there was little things. It wasn't huge. It wasn't like restarting Vine type thing, but it was that maybe like looking into it because they realized that there's so much more that they just pulled the plug on and failed. But I don't know.
Thank you for tuning into the 4th Byte Podcast. We'll have more in the future. And that's it.